Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update from a helicopter in Kapoho Bay, Saturday, June 9th, 11:57 p.m. Mountain Time, 2018. You're looking at the devastation at Vacation Land and Kapoho Bay. You're about to come up on 3 homes that are currently burning and being crushed by lava. A 20-foot wall high of lava is now engulfing these final homes in this region. Absolute devastation. Approaching 1,000 homes missing. 500 farms completely obliterated. Dreams and lives built devastated. And this is because the powers that be were well aware of the dangers. And they sold this property anyway, so they could make a buck. And now we have a lava front over a mile wide and a laze plume emanating toxic gases inland, and the mayor, he is devastated. We'll get back to this. Let's get on with the update. A deep trough across the western U.S. is bringing strong winds and cool temperatures across the region. This has produced critical fire weather threats in the southwest, snow above 5,500 feet adjacent to severe storm warnings in the northern Rockies, and freeze warnings. It is insane. Welcome to summer. Critical fire weather, you're looking at 1, 2, 3 areas. Western Nevada, we're talking southern Utah, northern Arizona, and a little bit of wisp here, but the entire Four Corners region in the orange. Current watches and warnings in 37 states, including red flag warnings throughout the entire Southwest, winter storm warnings and watches, heavy thunderstorm warnings up in western Idaho, eastern Idaho, western Montana, freeze warnings here in southern Oregon and northern California, and frost warnings here in northern Cali, as well as heavy weather across the country. National snowfall forecast valid through June 12th. Are you kidding me? Valid through June 12th, and I just erased the boom. Well, let's get to it. Boom. Valid through June 12th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states with snow a week before summer. Idaho showing areas of 12 to 18 inches in the mountains, as well as on the state line with Montana. So we're going to be closely watching this late spring summer storm, and we'll come over to the GFS model, and you can watch it all dump by Monday. So, Sunday, Monday. It's about to hit the fan, kids. And then we even have a summer solstice snow event here in Wyoming, in Colorado, and Utah showing up at June 20th. Yes, June 20th. Officials order new evacuations as Colorado wildfires rage on, and they dump this orange powder onto the fray. In this photo provided by Jerry Day, an aircraft makes a fire retardant drop on a wildfire hills and forest near Durango, just north. As wildfires continue to roar through southwestern Colorado, authorities announced more evacuations on Saturday. 1,600 now evacuated. The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning, which we just showed you, for most of the states, citing high fire danger. So far, more than 1,600 homes have been evacuated, although there has no known damage to any property. The fires, which began June 1st, we covered just 4 hours ago on my way back home here to the ranch. And it doesn't look good, kids. 14 square miles have been burned, which is putting it up at around 9,000 acres currently, and there is no end in sight. We don't have any rain coming into the forecast anytime soon. More than 680 firefighters have been dispatched to battle the fires, and Type 1 Incident Command Team assigned to the largest fires took charge Saturday morning. Basically, what they're doing is keeping this fire orderly. They're trying to stop it from jumping 550, and they're keeping it away from homes. Other than that, they're letting it burn naturally, which they should do. So hopefully this will put itself out naturally, as wildfires do. Hailstorm halts M9 motorway traffic. Have you heard? Drivers on the M9 south of Dublin were forced to pull into hard shoulder after the storm hit at 16:30 when huge hailstones reduced visibility that looked nearly like snow. Traffic Scotland urged drivers to exercise caution as the storm passed. The Met Office issued a yellow be aware warning for the flooding. We have exclusive coverage here at ORP. Heads up, Scotland. It might be 90 out, but it's certainly still a hail of a season. Maybe they need some plows there. That's a Scotland Grand Solar Minimum. Boom. We have a lot to cover today. And bing, bang, boom is where we're at. BBC, hailstorm halts M9 motorway traffic in Scotland. Why do some thunderstorms produce hail but others not? No thanks. Hail is likely to occur in most thunderstorms, but it never reaches the ground. Hail requires intense upward air motions within thunderstorms and consequently occurs most often in severe thunderstorms, especially those on the continental interiors of the mid-latitudes. Hailstones will keep growing until their mass can no longer be supported by the updrafts, and then they fall onto your car, smashing the windows and wreaking havoc on crops. As we descend into the Grand Solar Minimum, Colorado, Wyoming, and western Kansas, Nebraska will experience the greatest number of hailstorms east of the divide, which is why I'm not there, and neither should you. With the severe weather swings that are predicted for the Grand Solar Minimum, yeah, that's my buddy. Let's get a prayer up to this guy. Cosmic ray-induced suicide, no doubt. Winter storm in June. Special weather alert issued for East Idaho, calling for colder temps. That guy looks scary. He strangles women. Whew. Be on the lookout for that creep. Winter storm in June. Special weather report. If we can ever get to it. East Idaho calling for cold temps, frost, and mountain snow. A winter storm in June is forecast to hit East Idaho with cold temperatures, frost, mountain snow. The storm is expected to arrive in East Idaho on Saturday night and isn't expected to exit the region until Monday morning, according to the National Weather Service. We showed up to 24 inches at high elevations, and this is going to be a big one, guys. The Weather Service has issued a special weather alert warning the public about the winter weather in East Idaho, which could include up to 3 inches of high mountain snow on the roads. Those planning recreational activities through the weekend should be prepared for winter-like conditions. Gusts up to 45 could make driving a vehicle difficult and reduce visibility via blowing dust are also likely with this storm. Sounds like a nightmare, a Grand Solar Minimum nightmare. Let's get to some of the graphs. Yes, but Al, it's going to snow and it's almost summer. I thought you, but I was under the impression. Here's the forecast into Sunday. Heads up south of Missoula. There is a big plume there, 6 plus, according to their forecast, which you know they're downplaying. We have snow throughout all of northern Washington State here, and it is just about to be summer, guys. Cooler temps in the northwest and snow. This is the mainstream. It doesn't get any more real than this. While the southwestern U.S. is enduring hot temps and dry conditions and fires, the weather will be the exact opposite in the northwest, as predicted by the Grand Solar Minimum. Here we have 90. Here we have 90 up in Glasgow and 57 down in Medford. 55 in Eugene. The 24-hour temp changes are really impressive. Places like Baker City, Oregon were 26 degrees cooler on Saturday behind the cold front. Look at the 24-hour temp change. 23 degrees in Burns. Whew. Tonight's lows, Baker City heads up. It is almost summer, and it's going to be 39. Below freezing in Burns. Boise at 43. Whew. 44 in Twin Falls. There's the upper level energy. Here's the forecast snow. Whew. And that's a boom. I have no idea what's going on here. Here's the deplorable science climate blog, June 7th. More than 97% of textile experts say Emperor is dressed in finally new clothes. With about half the oceans running below normal sea surface temperatures and cooling fast, climate experts tell us the oceans are overheating. Somebody's full of shite. Explosive volcanic eruptions triggered by cosmic rays. It's true. We will not register. I'll leave you links to this paper. It's quite important into the big scheme of things. Now, at some point, we're actually going to get to some good footage here. Guys, if you want to know more about the 416 fire, there's an official Facebook page now. Over 10,000 people following it, so I'll leave you links to it down below if you're interested. Fuego volcano injected large amounts of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, also killing hundreds of people. And it may induce some short-term global cooling. Now that the numbers are in, volcanologist Simon Karn is quoted by saying SO2 mass ejection was about 2 orders of magnitude than the 74 eruption, which had a significant stratospheric impact, i.e., it cooled the Earth. So, in 1974, the Fuego eruption cooled the Earth, and the one that just happened is 2 orders of magnitude greater. And that was ejected into the stratosphere, which it will stay for years. Fuego in Guatemala is one of Central America's most active volcanoes. The visible infrared imaging radiometer suite VIRS on Summit NPP acquired this image of the ash plume at 1 p.m. local time, 1900 Universal. We showed it to you just about 4 or 5 days ago when this went off, and this was up in the upper stratosphere, above all the existing clouds. This was injected into a place where it will remain for years. And with increased cosmic ray flux, this is going to cause havoc, increase the albedo, and cool the planet. Now, a report from Washington Volcanic Ash Advisory Center estimated the plume's maximum height at 9 miles. Imagery from geostationary satellite showed winds blowing the plume to the east. The eruption deposited ash on several communities surrounding the volcano, including Guatemala City. Now, this would actually have to be a little bit higher to be worried about, so I think that it actually was. So, this is a heads up. Twice as much SO2 than the last event in 74, which had a significant effect. And that's without the cosmic ray flux. Seismic update, we have some rocking up in Alaska happening as we're making the video here. This is the Talkeetna area. I'm well aware of that particular area. Looks like we have a 4.0. Nothing significant. Some minor activity here, but we'll be watching this for volcanic activity because this is on the Aleutian Arc chain, which is volcanic in nature, and we see Hawaii is not stopping today with a 5.2 explosion happening at the caldera, which is showing a downtick in activity, but we're waiting for a more massive explosion, and the reason these minor ones may be happening is because these are precursors to a larger boom, because the large plateaus that have collapsed are creating more pressure from the surface. So it's going to take a little bit more to get them to move, so hopefully we won't see that, and it will continue to decrease, and there will be no more structures or homes lost. But we're at a 50-50 cusp right now. It could go either way. So, worldwide volcano news update. Reventador, Dukono, Kilauea, Sakurajima, Sabancaya, Ebiko. You want to look? There'll be a link below. Also, the video we showed in the beginning. Let's talk about Sasha Dobler's Black Death and Abrupt Earth Changes in the 14th century. It all started in 1377. And if you come down here and you just read the pretext here, it will rock your world, kids. The middle of the 14th century was a period of extraordinary terror and disaster to Europe. The numerous portents, which sadly frightened the people, were followed by pestilence, which threatened to turn the continent to an unpeopled wilderness. For years after year, there were signs in the sky, on earth, in the air, all indicative, as men thought, of some terrible coming event. And then, In 1337, a great comet appeared in the heavens, as far extended tail, sowing deeply dread into the minds of the ignorant masses. During the 3 succeeding years, the land was visited by enormous flying armies of locusts, which had nothing to do with the comet, descending on myriads of the fields and left the shadow of famine in their tracks. 1348 came an earthquake of such frightful violence that many men deemed the end of the world to be presaged. Its devastations were widely spread. Cyprus, Greece, and Italy were terribly visited, and it extended through the Alpine valleys as far as Basle. In Corinthian, 30 villages and the lower of Villach were ruined. The air grew thick and stifling. There were dense and frightful fogs. Wine fermented in the casks. Upon the roof of the People's Palace at Avignon in 1356 came another earthquake, which destroyed almost the whole of Basle. What with famine, flood, fog, locust swarms, earthquakes, and the like, it is not surprising that many men deem the cup of the world's sins to be full and the end of the kingdom of man to be at hand. 1893. If we come to the GISP 2, you can see the events that unfolded in the 1300s. Dramatic cosmic ray increase due to the shutdown of the sun during this grand solar minimum caused all of these events. And you are here, folks, in the same exact spot, just 1,000 years in the future. That's not the only data set. There are many corroborating sets. So here, do you see as we descend into the Sporer minimum, the beginning of the mini ice age? This is a very similar total solar irradiance decrease as the Eddy minimum. So if you want to know what's going to happen in the next 2 decades, I suggest you read these 102 very important pages by Sasha Dobler, who, by the way, will be joining us on our radio show as soon as I ask him. Sasha, I just asked you. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of our new subscribers, our new one-time donors, all of our Patreons. Oppenheimer Ranch Project is exploding again. The powers that be tried to shut us down. This is all the demonetization, all of the censorship. Here it all is. And you can see the graphs are all going up. Views are up. Watch time is through the roof. 5.8 million minutes a month. That's a lot of minutes. That's 6 million minutes a month. Our subscribers are almost at an all-time high. We're growing at 2,400 subscribers a month. Yes, kids. 1,400 subscribers every 2 weeks. Well, 1,200. But that's 600 people a week subscribing to our channel. It's not because of me. It's because you guys are sharing this information on your social media and people are picking up what we're putting down. Do not stop sharing this information. Thank you, everyone who shares this information. We have over 10,000 shares happening monthly that I have nothing to do with. It's all you guys. All you guys keep up the good work. We're kicking ass and taking names. We're up to almost 26,000 subs. Over 5 million views, and we put our first update on the air last July. It hasn't even been a year. Let's get this to 30,000 by July 4th. And that would be a super science boom. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Times are changing. Mr. Molecule's Big Bang Boom Science Show is going to continue every day as we can do it. Now, the farmers market is beginning next week. That means Friday night updates are going to be early and short. And I know you understand why. I have a lot to do to get prepared to get up at the crack of dawn Saturday to share my organic, sustainable, amazing produce with the public and get them out of the stores. Buy local. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, we're having fun with science. Keep it up. Keep sharing our videos. Hope you got something out of this one. Times are changing. It's very clear if you watch our channel what's happening. Be safe, everybody.